Blunt Talk with LT, episode 137. This episode's brought to you by StackWap.com. StackWap.com/shop for your SGE merch. Use promo code Blunt Talk for 10% off everything in the SGE store. Blunt Talk's capital B, capital T, no space. Okay, so we're going to get into it. Make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you like the clips that you watch. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Yeah, let's get right into it. I have a bunch of things that I'm going to address later in the episode, but let's get right into it. Let's get into the topics that I'm a little late on. Okay, so Dr. Umar Johnson. Dr. Umar Johnson. This is getting bad. This is like rock bottom for Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar Johnson gambles away donation money for his school.
We have been hoodwinked.
Let's watch this. This is pretty bad, man.
West Coast Ifatunde. West Coast Ifatunde. I'm feeling good today. I don't gamble, but we need about $1.5 million for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy renovation. We need about $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $1.5 million for the Garvey building. We need $2 million overall. So we're gonna play and we're gonna hit today. We're gonna play and we're gonna hit today, family. Let me show you what we're about to do. Let me show you what we're about to do, family. We're about to get us some money for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. We're about to get some money. I need that 1.2 right there. Y'all see that? That's what we need. That's what we need, that 1.2 mil. Y'all see that? That will get the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, the whole campus. This will take care of the whole campus, family. This will take care of the whole campus, family. That 1.2, that will take care of the whole campus. So we're going to do Wheel of Fortune, Ifatunde style. We're going to do Wheel of Fortune, Ifatunde style. Now, y'all got to help me out because I don't know how to gamble. And I see all kind of shit.
What?
I see a wheel. I see the bar. How do I play this? We need this money for FDMG, family. We need this money. So what do I do? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cash out, service. We got to play, family. Y'all think I'm playing. How do we play this?
This is bad. This is real bad. I feel bad. I feel there's his donators, his supporters, people that donated money.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Gotta say a prayer for that money.
Jesus
Better
Christ.
pray that money actually, gets used to build that school, because he's talking about these wins that he could possibly get, saying he does not know how to gamble, but yet he's gambling away the school's donation money, that people that worked hard for their hard-earned money that donated it to him. That's the thing about Dr. Umar. It's like, you got to do the work. He could have easily built a successful platform on YouTube, did speeches, did something, raised the money himself. Well, not just himself, along with the donations. Put together a business strategy or something, because he's talking about this money. It's like, so even if you did have the money to facilitate everything it needs to actually build the schools and get the HVAC and everything just set up, how are you going to maintain and sustain paying the teachers and the staff and just keep it running? And he says he wants to do it without the government. This is all very confusing. I would need more information, but as a I would not need more information, because I wouldn't donate to somebody that's willing to gamble the donators' money. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like, there's other videos I've reacted to of him in the past when he was like, next time do 20 to the person that donated 10 and those things, and I had a good laugh at that. But this is serious. At this point, this is next level shit. I would be offended to the next level. I'd feel super disrespected if I'm donating money towards a cause and the man that you're donating the money to is gambling it, not knowing how to gamble. Even if you knew how to gamble, don't gamble donation money. This is crazy. I'm hoping, because this has been covered by multiple people at this point, some credible sources. I'm hoping there's some mistake in this video and he was trolling or something, or this wasn't donation money, this was his money out the pocket or something. I don't know, man. I'm hoping there's some sort of mistake on this story, but this is bad. This is real bad. It's not a good look for Dr. Umar supporters or donators. What else do we got here? Okay, so Charlemagne disrespected Kwame Brown's. See, I've been saying Kwame because Stephen A. kind of indoctrinated me. We keep saying Kwame. I keep thinking his name's Kwame Brown. It's Kwame Brown. He disrespected Kwame Brown's family and Kwame Brown on the radio. And then when Kwame Brown, responded back and kind of, because what he did was he divulged private information about Kwame Brown's family members that he didn't even know this information himself, because these were family members that was from his father's side, not out of his mother. So it's brothers that were like half brothers through the father, but not through the mother. So a lot of this information that he was talking about his brothers and shit, he didn't even know. And that's the problem. Okay, before I get into everything, as an entertainer, as a public figure, you understand that you're subjected to a certain amount of scrutiny, certain amount of media attention, people talking about you, publications writing stories about you. You understand that. The average fan's going to talk, people are going to talk shit about you on Twitter, all that shit. It's going to happen as a public figure. But when other media outlets, prominent media outlets, one of the most popular media outlets in the country, has one of their radio heads attack your family and divulge information about your family. Your family's not famous. Your family, they're not public figures. Why did he need to do that? He did that and then sent a cease and desist to Kwame Brown after Kwame Brown was bringing up events that actually happened in Charlemagne's life. Personal attacks at Charlemagne after Charlemagne went all the way personal at him and his family. So you're going to send a cease and desist? What is the difference between Charlemagne doing this and Michael Rappaport doing what he did to Kevin Durant? Coming at Kevin Durant all crazy, talking shit to him in his comment section. Kevin Durant comes back at him with better bars, takes the W, and then this guy goes to the NBA, who doesn't go to the NBA. He exposes these personal messages back and forth. He exposes them to the public. Gets Kevin Durant fined. Possible sponsorship or deals lost because of this. Trying to assassinate his character, trying to be like, oh, he's a terrible person. Look at him. Look at what he's talking about me. Look at the way he's coming at my wife. In a private conversation after you threw stones first. You threw stones and hid your hands. The same. Charlemagne did exactly what is equivalent to what Michael Rappaport did. And as a Breakfast Club supporter, a Brilliant Idiots supporter, I've been watching Charlemagne for years. I've supported a lot of shit Charlemagne did. Looking at this, it was just mad disappointing that he did some bitch ass shit like that. There's no other way to say it. This was some bitch ass shit. This was some pussy shit. There's no other way to say this. That is some bitch ass shit. Some bitch ass nigga shit. It is what it is, man. It was some bitch ass nigga shit. It was a weak move. It was a weak move. Charlemagne needs to give himself Donkey of the Day. He needs to apologize to Kwame Brown, because he was standing up for his guys. Yeah, these guys are on the Black Effect Network. Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes. I fucks with their show too. But if you're wrong, what's the problem with a simple apology? What is the problem with it? Is it because Kwame Brown came back at you and had the internet laughing for a week, and he was taking W's everywhere, that now it's an ego thing and it's a pride thing that you don't want to apologize for being wrong? Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes is their whole separate situation. I'm not even getting into that. The situation with Stephen A, I feel differently about, so I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into that. But when it comes to Charlemagne, nah, nigga. You got to right your wrongs with that one. You have to understand that you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with addressing when you're wrong and, apologizing. It doesn't make you look weak or anything. You acknowledge that you're wrong. The thing is, when you're on the radio or you're on a podcast or any type of public speaking engagement, if you speak enough, you are going to put your foot in your mouth sometimes. You're going to say some stupid shit, and it is what it is.
Wouldn't let that shit happen to me, though.
You recognize that. You acknowledge it. I'm on my podcast a lot. I say a lot of stupid shit, and I leave it out there for the public to consume, and then they argue week late. The funniest thing, I think, when people come and they comment and they argue opinions that I don't even stand by anymore because it's like weeks old content, but I leave it up there. You gotta kind of just add new material and, you know, right your wrongs when you do those ones. But what else do we got here? Kwame Brown. Okay, Kwame Brown dropped some gems for young athletes. See, he's on his platform, not just coming back at the people disrespecting him, but dropping gems in the midst. I actually watched one of his hour-long speeches, and I seen some moments out of this. I'm like, yo, he dropped some gems for some young NBA players that, you know, get millions of dollar contracts, $150 million contracts. These NBA players with a lot of power. Okay, let's get to the clip, and then let's bring our insight. If this shit would just load, the fuck is going? Okay.
You black males that's in the NBA, the NFL, all these places, stop hollering and shouting in the street, nigga. You made it already. You got it. Nigga, some of you niggas is making goddamn $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 every 2 weeks, you stupid motherfucker. That's called residual income. That's going into a bank. You stop letting your financial advisor have your relationship at the bank. You go to the bank, because when you walk in with a bank with that kind of money, bitch, you run the show. You run the bank, motherfucker. You go up there and write up a business plan, and they'll give you whatever you want. Tell them you want a youth center, or I'm going to take all my goddamn money out this motherfucking bank, and you will get a youth center. And your city councilmen and all the people that y'all putting in place, stop getting them to shout and yell about dumb shit. Close your ears and let's look at the results. Out of all the talking, what are the results? So it's time out for all that talking. Close your ears, niggas, and go down to the Chamber of Commerce and sign up. Go find out where these opportunity zone buildings are, because that's your money for your community.
Good message. People have to understand that banks make money off of your money. You have the power when you have that amount of money. I think Kwame Brown is absolutely right there, but I don't have that type of power and influence, so I wouldn't know firsthand. But, you know, I'm going to go with his word there. It sounded pretty spot on. But yeah, action. Take action. Use your own shit. Cut out middlemans too. There's too many people. There's too many high earning middlemen doing nothing but ripping these rich motherfuckers off. Accountants, lawyers, middlemen, certain middlemen that don't actually need to be there. They're just doing simple menial jobs, tasks at best. And, you know, these players are getting finessed out their bag, but, you know. Okay, so Pacquiao announced Pacquiao versus Spence August 21st. Real boxing's back. Because if you're gonna if people think that Floyd Mayweather Logan Paul's gonna be a good fight, they're out of their goddamn mind. They're like, oh, Logan Paul's so much bigger. What? Crazy. That's gonna be child's play. That's not real boxing. That's entertainment. If you want to call it that. Pacquiao Spence is gonna be a big fight, and the fact that Pacquiao's the A side shows how big he still is in the sport. Because Errol Spence is a savage. This is gonna be a great match. I'm excited to see this. This is some real boxing. Not much to say because real boxing kind of, you know, that's the problem. When you try to build up these things, it's like, yeah, great fight. Can't wait for it. And they're not going to talk shit. They're not going to sell the fight. It's not going to be any of that drama or that dramatic shit that happened with the Jake Paul Floyd Mayweather shit. It's just going to be a fight. So we're going to be ready, prepared for that. Bet on that. I don't know who I'm betting on. Probably bet on Errol Spence to keep it a buck, but great fight on the way. Yeah, nothing more to say about that. What else do we got here? Okay, so Future recently dissed Lori Harvey in a new music video. Let's listen to this. Okay, so it was that Tell Steve Harvey I Don't Want Her bar that, you know, the internet went crazy over. Girls were like, she don't want you. She's, you know, throating Michael B. Jordan right now. She don't care about Future. All that shit. The girls were talking on Twitter. Men were celebrating King Future. I'm like, yo, Twitter and these social media platforms is a joke at this moment. At this point, it's like he sent a bar at his ex. Big deal. Who cares? I don't know. I think that was kind of weak for Future at the end of the day, because it's like she moved on. She don't care. You saying that you don't want her on a record kind of says that you still thinking about her in some way. I don't know, man. I don't know if this is a W for the red pill or an L. I don't know. That immature shit that goes on the internet, that man and girl war shit, that shit's trash. But hey, for shits and giggles, people like to entertain themselves on social media and get into these type of back and forths, choose a side, and it's just like people are bored, huh? People are bored. What else do we got here? Okay, let's get into more of a serious matter. Okay, so we got a more serious matter here. Let's get into this video and then react to what we see here.
A business owner busted not for killing a burglar, which did happen, but instead for running an illegal marijuana grow operation.
So here's the thing. When they control the narrative, it's always control with lies, and they will twist words around. Listen to the narrative to the man who was the victim protecting his business and how they make him sound like the criminal. Watch.
It happened just after 1 o'clock this morning. Police called to this business after a would-be burglar was shot and killed. But now it's the business owner that's behind bars after what they found inside.
So that's a half-truth, because it wasn't about what they found inside. It's about the fact that a black man shot a white man, and they were going to figure out any way to get him so he couldn't get away with it.
About 480 plants, which comes out to approximately $1.5 million worth of marijuana.
Police say this man, 33-year-old LaRue Bratcher, shot and killed 42-year-old Daniel Hardwick as Hardwick was trying to break into this southeast Oklahoma City business.
Was anybody else wondering why we didn't see the face of the white man, the burglar, the criminal, but only the black man who was the victim defending his business? Interesting.
We're told Bratcher cooperated with police after they arrived on scene. Then they found out what his business was.
They later discovered that this was a marijuana grow, that's what the business was. Further checking determined that the man did not have a license to grow marijuana in Oklahoma.
When they control the narrative, it's controlled with lies, and I'll explain to you why. They want him to sound like an illegal drug dealer on the street like we see in movies, when in actuality this was a business owner. But it's COVID, y'all, so his license expired. And because of his expired license, they're using that to put him in jail for murder. Just like how they killed Dante Wright for an expired tags when we all know it's COVID. Those tags take forever to get there. So yes, people are walking and working and owning business on expired licenses because the government is fucked up. But they want this man to look like a criminal so they can justify what they're doing to him.
Ultimately, he ended up being booked into the Oklahoma County Jail on unlawful cultivation of marijuana.
Bratcher was arrested and his bond set at $5,000, but that's his only charge. As of right now, he is not in jail for killing Hardwick.
So you're wondering how this charge of not having a legal business turned into murder. Well, under Oklahoma law, as long as you have a legal business, you have a right to defend it. And you can kill that person. It's the way the law is written. But if your business is illegal, then they have a right to charge you with murder. So it makes you wonder, why are they charging the victim or going after all this extent to criminalize the victim? Is it because he's black? Because what other reasons are they going after the victim so hard for defending his business? Shouldn't that be something they want the people know, that if you have a business, you have a right? Isn't that what they were telling us when Black Lives Matter were protesting? That people have a right to kill these protesters because they're burning down their businesses? But now when a black man defends his business, the whole thing changes.
Okay, that's pretty fucked up. It's pretty fucked up, but we have to understand at this point, we got to show these videos just to show these that this type of shit happens, but it's to be prepared, not surprised. There's an extra accountability that we have to take. Us black people have to take. We have to be over accountable at this point because we're not afforded certain privileges. So because of that, we can't sit around and be sad about it. We have to move differently. We have to be overly prepared We have to be slightly better. We have to leave because there's less leniency. There's less room for error. There's less benefit of the doubt. So because of that, we got to move more carefully. And it's like some people are like, oh, that's not fair. Well, I'm like, that's the reality. Until we build more, black-owned stuff, black-owned businesses, black infrastructure, black cities, black towns, get more control over anything so we can get the justice that we want. It's like we got to move a little bit differently. There has to be some sort of, and it's like it's fucked up to say that because it's like these times it is very hard to get these things, but it's like it's very unfortunate. It sucks. It sucks that type of shit happens because I know he probably was trying to renew his business, but there's an extra level of precaution that we have to take because there is the less privilege or no privilege, less leniency afforded. It sucks that this is the way things are, but I think at some point we got to accept that the things are this way and just move a little differently to, preserve our people, the sanity, everything. Just, yeah. What else do we got here? Okay, so fans clowned Romeo for thinking that the verses between him and Bow Wow would take place. That would be the monumental verses. Fans clowned him. Fans said that you were not in the same bracket or in the same league as Bow Wow, as Bow Wow announced him and Soulja Boy versus. Bow Wow and Soulja Boy versus is going to be wild. I think people are underestimating how many hits Bow Wow and Soulja Boy both have. Soulja Boy's bag's deep. People are trying to underestimate Soulja Boy because Bow Wow came up with that video showing where he ranks on the number ones list. Bow Wow has hits. Bow Wow's bag is deep. Bow Wow and Soulja Boy have hits. Bow Wow and Soulja Boy are legends at this point, and they don't want to be crowned that or seen that way. And people are like, Soulja Boy a legend. They try to disrespect him on rap ability, but they're marking the game, the things that they've done, the status that they've claimed. They're at that point. They're still young, and they're still putting out music. They still have a career ahead of them. But at the end of the day, they still got to accept that they're legends at this point already. It is what it is. They've done enough. Romeo is not on that level.
Shit getting out of hand now.
Master P did a great job with his sons. Shout out to Master P. But Romeo is not at the same stature, or anything as Bow Wow or Soulja Boy. When it comes to a verses, nah, he didn't reach those levels. He just doesn't have those. Like, I don't know that he has 20 hits that could stand up like that. That's not, and that's why he's getting clowned on Twitter. He's getting clowned on social media. But fans are gonna clown anybody. Fans, the thing that people have to understand, whenever there's a hot situation, a hot topic, or whatever, people are gonna say whatever the fuck they want about celebrities, public figures. It is what it is. You might wake up one day and start getting dragged like King Batch or King Back, whatever his name is, Bach.
What?
Or wake up and people are debating if you're even a good rapper, like what happened with Big Sean. One day Twitter woke up and just said, you know what, Big Sean's trash. And I'm like, what? And they had a huge debate about it. I'm like, I'm not even running a story about this because this is foolishness. But it's like, this is what happens. This is what happens. What is the central focus of this episode? I wanted to make a greater point about this podcast because a lot of people don't really understand this podcast is blunt, unfiltered, takes about anything and everything. A lot of popular things because those do the views, and I like giving my opinions about things, and I don't like to be talking to a fucking wall because that's what happens. Sometimes you like to have the most deep, intricate discussions about things that aren't trending and aren't popular, and nobody cares. They might be deep. They might be more intelligent conversations, idea-based, thought-based conversations. But at this point, nobody cares. So it is what it is. We're going to talk about anything and everything because that's what this show is. We touch every subject. I am not. Hold on. I don't leave things on the table. I'm not reluctant to get into any topic or discuss anything. I speak about anything, in my opinion, is raw. It is what it is. The show is completely solo. Companies owned by me. IP's owned by me. Show edited, ran everything by me. There's no person's opinions pushing my opinions or no agenda pushing my opinions. I just got to make that clear to people. So when you hit that super chat or you really support, you are supporting an individual content creator. An individual who created this shit from the ground up. From the ground up. Started out as a rapper, Lyrical Threat LT. LT actually, but Lyrical Threat LT is the handle. Built the media company, so I had my own infrastructure. Didn't have to pay for recording time. Didn't have to pay for music videos, all that shit, because I built the media company. But then I'm like, okay, this media game, the money is great in it, so let's pivot more into this. Let's do this shit. So when you're supporting me, you're supporting a creator from the ground up. No engine behind it. So feel free to hit that super chat because I do this and I put my opinion out here. But it is for monetary purposes, unapologetically. I don't like when people come out here and act like, oh, I'm not doing this for the views. I'm not doing this for the money. So why the fuck are you wasting all your time doing it, nigga?
If you don't get
That's
that
the way I
bullshit
think
out of
about
my
it.
face, bitch.
Everything's going to be authentic. I don't have the media relationships where I'm going to be easy on certain people because they're my niggas like that. But I'm going to wrap up this episode. Shout out to my subscribers. Make sure you hit that like button. We got live streams coming on the way. We got a lot of shit coming on the way. We just out here. We just out here like that right now. Yeah.